we're going to focus on the common errors. If you are somebody who has been writing many letters for a while now, this is the part where you absolutely want to focus, because I have checked like hundreds of letters, and these are always the same mistakes that I noticed from students from all over the world: Indian, European, Nigerian, from China, from Kenya, same errors. And I've included all of their versions for you here. So let's move. The first and foremost, very simple mistake. I have been saying it for a while now. We do not want to use short forms in OET letters. And why is that? Because they are considered informal in a professional formal letter. So this Dick for December, we do not want to use. You can use this version. You can use this version if you want to save time, but not this version. The date should always be written in full, like this. The other mistake, which I did not expect to see, Indian students will not be making this mistake. However, students from other parts of the world could be using a different format of writing their date. And that's very interesting. I've noticed it in a few letters. So I want to clarify. The standard format or date format you want to use is, first you want to write the date, then you want to write the month, and then the year, because this is the most common format which is used. It's not specified by OET that if you don't use this format, we're absolutely going to fail you. No, nothing like that. In the starting and ending, I don't think you can make as many mistakes as you think, unless you've made mistakes in every sentence of the starting and ending. You're not going to lose so many marks that they're going to fail you. Okay. This video is about teaching you the correct way to start and write the letter, and that's all. The second kind of mistake, and this is kind of a combination of all the mistakes you make here in the starting. So students start using the standard format of letter writing: to the principal, to the blah blah blah, right? We do not need this. To is not required. Please know that. Dr. Blair Howell, the full name is written. However, right in the same sentence, you are seeing who this person is, their job profession is written, then their address is also written here. It's very congested. You do not want to do that. First of all, commas are not required when the address is written at the top of the letter, because the information is separated by lines. We don't need the commas. However, if you want to use the commas, it's okay. That's not my main concern. My main concern is that this is confusing. You want to use this format: Dr. Blair Howell, name of the reader, their occupation, admitting doctor. Third thing, the address. Notice that whenever I'm using a comma in the address, I'm kind of putting a gap in the line here. This in another line, this in another line. So that can act as your understanding of where you can put the comma, or sorry, where you can, or how to divide the information in half when it comes to the address. It's not very difficult. The other issue, which is more important for me, is to note these underlying words. I've underlined the word doctor, the word street, and hill. Take a guess why. I'll give you a second. 1 second is over. It's because that when the person is writing, they have not used a capital letter to begin their word in all three of these areas. When you want to put the address, it is a general understanding that you're going to start the address names with capital letters. So capital letters are required for street names and suburbs also. I will save you some time. Each and everything that you include in your address in this area, you're going to start it with a capital letter. The same is also true for the occupation and the name of the reader as well, because the name of a particular person is a proper noun. Proper nouns are always capitalized. Okay. This as well is going to be a proper noun. It is also going to be capitalized. So it has to start with a capital letter. These are all the common mistakes I see time and time again. There's more. So in the RE line, it's absolutely okay if you want to use this RE or if you want to use the capital of RE. It's absolutely fine, not an issue at all. However, here, when you notice the the patient's name, they have not used the title Mr. Miss, which is okay because so many times you're going to refer to the patient and the reader, and you're going to use their title. Okay. And this, you have given the information that I needed from here, which is the complete name. So, what seems to be the issue? The issue is that what I need from the reference line are just the date of birth, if that is provided, or the age, if that is provided. But remember, if date of birth and age are provided, what is preferred is the date of birth. Correct? Even that again is not an issue. What is an issue is that they have provided me too much information here, which can be a bit overwhelming and confusing. They have said receptionist. They have said that she's single. Do I even need this information that she's single? And if I need it, why is it here? When their date of birth is already provided, why am I getting to know about their age from the reference line when date of birth is preferred? So don't put so much of information in the reference line. Stick to the name, date of birth, or the age, depending on what we have discussed so far. So only include name and age of the patient, gender, their profession, their marital status, and so forth can be included later in the opening sentence, which can be in your purpose paragraph. The other mistake, even though it is very clearly specified that this is a formal professional letter, and this is how we address the reader here in this line. Still, so many times I will see students using, "Hi, Samantha," just the first name of the reader. Remember, that may be absolutely fine here in certain cultures. But when you write a formal medical letter, especially for the NHS, you want to use the reader's last name because using just their first name in any situation can seem a bit rude if you're not on that level of familiarity with them. For example, if you hang out with them every day apart from work, they're your friends, you can call them Samantha while you're talking to them. But in the letter, you're still going to say, "Dear Miss Bruin." Bruin is their last name, Miss is the appropriate title, and that's exactly what I've used here. Not this. It's not going to be correct. So we must use the appropriate title before someone's name, and their last name is what we are going to use. Otherwise, you can seem a bit rude. And this is also considered the appropriate greeting in the letter. The next mistake is you don't see a red line here is because the student has forgotten to mention the date of birth. If the date of birth was not provided, the student has forgotten to mention the age also. So for example, here I have mentioned the age. So you must include that information in the RE line because that's what it is here for. The other mistake, again, we have kind of seen this already, is the student is starting the address with a small letter. You're supposed to use a capital letter here. The other problem is, "Dear Dr. Brady," capitalization. Yes, you shouldn't be doing that. Instead, you should be using the appropriate title. I would still be absolutely okay if you said, "Dear Dr. Brady," like this. This is fine. Okay, this is fine. "Dear Dr. Brady," or Bradbury, for example. But "Dear Mr. Bradbury" is your safe zone. You can always use that. You must also notice that they have mentioned the address, but they haven't mentioned if it is a GP, if it is an emergency doctor, if it is someone else. That's because they must not have noticed that in the writing task. So what you do know is this, that this person is a doctor. They have used it here already. You can also use it right after it. You can use the term doctor if you are aware here between the address and between their name. Apart from this, you will see mistakes like this. While they have included the name and their profession, neurosurgeon here, they've started including the address in the same line. Don't do it, please. Don't do it. Put this in the next line here, like the rest of us. So this would be the correct version. Another mistake that I see in the ending is hilarious to me. I understand the confusion, but all of the mistakes that you see in towards the ending of the letter, first of all, there's not a lot of information that you write towards the ending of the letter. So there's not a lot of information to remember, right? So it's easier to remember this information. So why are we using an apostrophe S here? We don't need it. Why are we using a capital letter and sincerely we don't need it? This is how you write yours sincerely, small letters. Simple. Another common mistake is students forgetting to write the closing sentence or they start making errors in it. This is a sentence that is not going to be very creative, so you can just memorize it. Yes, you can cram it, you can memorize it. You never have to learn another closing sentence again. It's true, you can do it. So you should not be making mistakes in the closing sentence like this, right? And you should also not forget to write the closing sentence in your letter. That's standard practice to include the closing sentence in your letter. So these are so far all the mistakes that students make, or different versions of it. For example, if you have made a mistake here, you have made a mistake here, what students will do is they will forget to put the word please here. They will directly just say, do not hesitate to contact me if you need further information, if you have any questions. While I'm all for flexibility, we should not be rude towards the reader. When we use words like please, kindly, we are showing respect. We are also being polite. When you tell someone, do this, do that, contact me, or take care of this patient, we may think that we sound polite, but in your written language, it comes off a bit direct. As an order, we don't order other people. So if you want to sound polite, we use terms like please, kindly contact me if you have further questions. Kindly contact me if you need further information regarding this patient. Yeah. Should you have any queries, please do not hesitate to contact me rather than making errors in contacting me. Now, you may want to go back and review all of these mistakes because I guarantee if you're making mistakes, you will be making mistakes of these kinds. You will be either not using the capital letters, or you will mess up the spacing, or you will write the short form of the date, or you will, let's say, start writing the address in the same line. Students are aware of these things. They know how to do these things, but they still end up making these mistakes. So what do I do? When I get a letter, the very first thing I check in that letter is the starting, and according to it, the ending. Because according to the starting, your ending will also be determined. Remember, I always, as an examiner, check the starting and ending, because if students can forget it, I can forget it as well, And it's a problem because I'm an examiner. I can be held accountable for my mistakes. You will simply appear for the exam. I can lose my job. So I check the starting and I check the ending. So when you're done writing your letter, check the starting, check the ending of your letter. And you already are aware of these mistakes. So check your starting and ending for these mistakes. Now, I'm not going to leave you empty-handed. I am going to give you a little task. And in this, I am telling you already there are some errors in first, second, and third. Your task is to identify which errors the student has made me in these starting or ending or whatever you see. If you want to explain it, if you want to just write the corrections of it in the comments, feel free to do that. I can also give you more such exercises for your benefit. So yeah, this is all about this video. Let me know if you like this video and if you would like to keep seeing more such videos on your writing module, and if you want to see more such videos on the other modules as well. But we're going to work on the writing module for a while now. So yeah, it's good to be back, and let's see you next Wednesday or Saturday for another video. Thank you for watching this video so far. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.